Alright, so welcome to the Cervical Strength Protocol, aka the Neck Strength Protocol. So first of all, we're going to cover the purpose of neck training. Now, the reason why you want to include neck training into your program, whether it's periodically or year-round, you do want to include some neck training into your programming at least some point in your life, and ideally have some maintenance for it as well. Now, the reason why you want to do this is there's going to be two main reasons that you want to do this. One is for longevity, two is for athleticism. Now, when you spend a lot of time training your body in the gym, lifting weights, whatever, or if you're an athlete, there's a high chance that you have strengthened your spine, especially if you're a weightlifter. There's a high chance that you've been strengthening your spine from the shoulder down. You've created a lot of strength in the spine from the shoulder down, and so there's likely a massive imbalance between your cervical spine, your neck, and the rest of your spine. The purpose of training your neck is to fix that imbalance that you probably have. That is the purpose of longevity, right? We want you to be pain-free, and we want you to be able to increase your strength and mobility throughout your entire body so that you aren't creating any unnecessary imbalances. Now, that's for longevity. The second reason that you might want to train the neck and include neck training into your programming is if you're an athlete. Now, this is going on to the first thing, which is creating structural balance and strength within the body. But also, if you're an athlete, you want to make sure that your neck, the top part of your spine, is just as strong as the rest of your spine, because you as an athlete are going to be experiencing a lot of stress on your body, and you want to make sure that you don't have any weak links that could be either inhibiting your performance potential or potentially going to cause you injury. Now, when it comes to pain reduction, if you are experiencing chronic neck pain and it's not from any direct cause or injury that you know of, it is highly likely that you're experiencing neck pain simply because the muscles are not strong enough to support your head. The other reason that you might be experiencing pain is because of muscle imbalances. If you spend a lot of time sitting down, that can lengthen out all the muscles in your neck, and the front of your neck can get really tight, and so your head and neck are resting in a position, so you have a neck posture that is not properly aligned, and that's what is causing the neck pain. And so the aim of this training is to, one, create structural balance, strengthen mobility through the neck, balance it out with the rest of the body, and this is really what is going to reduce the pain and then prevent any further injury. Now, the final reason that you may want to include neck training into your protocol is for aesthetic purposes. So having a strong, powerful neck is one of the best indicators of someone's strength, especially for a guy, right? You imagine picturing a guy, if they're jacked, they've got, their shoulders are built out, huge chest, large back, even some decent traps, but they have a skinny neck, it makes a huge difference to your aesthetics. If you have a jacked dude that's wearing a jumper or a t-shirt and they have a skinny neck, you'll look at that guy and you won't even be able to tell that he's jacked. You'll just see his skinny neck and you'll instantly, subconsciously think he doesn't even really lift. And then next minute he's got a sleeper build. Whereas if you see a guy with a thick neck, you instantly think, this dude is strong, he's probably fucking jacked. So that's the purpose of why you want to be neck training. Me personally, I highly rate neck training. It's what helped me completely eliminate my neck pain. I used to get a lot of neck pain, and once I got some good strength and a good foundation of strength into my neck, I have not had any neck pain since. So I know for a fact, and I've also worked with other people, help them completely eliminate their neck pain, and it really just comes down to building some good solid strength and mobility in the neck. That is pretty much your primary purpose of neck training and why you should include neck training into your program. is 1 for longevity, 2 for athleticism, 3 pain reduction, 4 injury prevention, and number 5, aesthetics. We're going to look at the strength protocol that we have for the neck and the cervical spine, which is the upper spine, the neck. And we have 2 different protocols for this. So the first that we have is the minimalist strength protocol. It's really just the absolute basics of neck strength training, and this is what's going to give you basically your 80%. This is where you want to start with the minimalist cervical strength protocol. This should take you between 10 and 15 minutes. You can perform it at the end of your workout on either an upper or lower body focused day, or if you do full body, then obviously at the end of that. And alternatively, you can perform it on its own at any time of the day throughout the week. You only want to be training this protocol once per week to maximize your recovery and prevent unnecessary hypertrophy. The purpose of this protocol is to strengthen the cervical portion of the spine, the neck, in 3 primary functions: flexion, extension, and lateral. This is made to be efficient and minimalist. What we basically have is that if you were performing this workout on its own and not at the end of another workout that you may be doing, obviously we first want to get you warmed up. We want to make sure that the blood's pumping throughout the entire body. We've got your heart rate elevated. We don't want to be going in cold for this. I recommend here the assault bike. If you go for 2 minutes on that, you go for a good pump around 60 to 70% of your max effort for 2 minutes. That should get you very, very warm and ready to go. Then what you're doing is you're performing 3 exercises, 2 sets of each. So we're starting here with neck flexion. We're training the front of the neck, seeing how it feels, not going too crazy. If you're untrained and you experience a lot of neck pain, I would recommend starting only with your body weight, or in other words, your head weight. So performing these on a bench with nothing but your head, just getting some neck curls in there, some neck flexion. Between 12 and 15 reps for your first time, head weight only. That should be enough to really get a feel for the movement and get some good stimulation into the neck muscles and the throat in there. And then moving on to neck laterals, you're going to be performing in a similar position, but you're now going to be working that lateral strength. So moving this neck laterally side to side there, performing the same as the first 2 sets, 12 to 20 reps. And again, starting with only your head weight, especially if you are an untrained athlete, an untrained human. You want to be starting head weight only, not loading it with any weight at all, just so that your body can get a feel for that. Lastly, we're going for neck extensions. So now we're working the back of the neck, right? We're tying in all the posterior work that we've done through deadlifts, back extensions, all of that. We're now tying in the back of the neck there, working the neck extensions. You want to be starting with your head weight only and just going for 12 to 20 reps, just getting a feel for that range of motion. Okay, you don't want to overdo the range of motion too much, especially when you first start. You don't want to overextend the neck too much, and you don't want to hyperextend it either. So getting a feel for that for the neck extensions. So overall, the minimalist strength protocol, it's 3 exercises, 2 sets each, starting with your head weight only, 12 to 20 reps. Your second time round, if the head weight was very difficult for you, then I would recommend another session or 2 head weight only. Make sure that you can at least perform 20 reps with your head only comfortably. Then when you feel comfortable, you can look at making some progressions. For the minimalist protocol for longevity, the goal is to be hitting 1.25 kilos for 20 reps on flexion, laterals, and then 2.5 kilos for 20 reps on your extension. This is going to give you a solid base of neck strength. This will be more than enough to reverse out all the sitting and resolve the pain that you might be having from daily life. And this will give you a good base of neck strength and mobility. You won't necessarily need to do any more than that. However, if you are an athlete or you have a goal of creating a more aesthetic and muscular neck, then you can look at doubling all of these numbers. So 2.5 kilos for the flexion, 2.5 kilos for laterals, and then 5 kilos for extension. That is the Minimalist Cervical Strength Protocol. If you want something more comprehensive, you can see the comprehensive protocol for a more holistic approach. So the comprehensive cervical strength protocol is around 30 minutes. So again, you can perform this at the end of your workout on either your upper or lower body focused days, and alternatively, you can perform it on its own at any time of the week. So I would recommend that, because this has some of these movements do have some shoulder and upper body focus, especially our first 4 exercises here, you can incorporate these into your upper body days. Alternatively, which I would recommend, especially for when you're just beginning, you can perform this on its own at any time of the day throughout the week. And again, same as the Minimalist Protocol, you only want to train this protocol once per week. We are going to be putting a fair amount of stress onto the neck, so we only want to be doing this once per week to maximize your recovery and allow you to make safe and effective strength progressions. So the purpose of this protocol is to strengthen the cervical portion of the spine, the neck, as comprehensively as possible, while still maintaining some level of efficiency and simplicity. Now, we've already seen the Minimalist Protocol, which is a more simplistic approach. So the comprehensive here is a similar layout. We just have a few extra exercises in there to cover all sort of holistic functions that the neck may perform, and with some higher strength goals in mind. Now, again, if you're performing this on its own, you want to be doing a warm-up first. We don't want to go into this cold. And the first exercise we have in this routine is the Y raise, also known as the trap threes. So what we're really trying to do here is not just directly target the neck strength and the neck muscles, but we also want to target the muscles around the neck that will help support the neck itself. So we're targeting a lot of the muscles in the shoulder girdle for this protocol. So the first one we have here is the Y raise, the trap threes. This is going to help improve your trap strength with an emphasis on the lower traps. You're also going to be getting some isometric neck strength here. What you want to be doing for these is performing them on a 45-degree incline on a bench, focusing on scapular traction prior to each rep, and controlling the weight through the eccentric portion on the way down, as you can see there. And for those, we're going to be working 8 to 12 reps, a larger focus on strength and less on the higher reps for endurance. And the goal for this is 10% of body weight each hand for 15 reps. If you weigh 70 kilos, you want to be aiming to get 7 kilo dumbbells in each hand for 15 reps with perfect form. Now, straight after that, we have the ATG pullover. Now, this is going to require dumbbells and a bench as well. Here, we're now working through the opposing side of the shoulder girdle, working through the lats, the chest, and the shoulders there. So we're lengthening out the muscles and getting strength in the long length portion of the muscles. And we're also getting some isometric neck strength in there as well. Same thing for this, 8 to 12 reps. The goal is 10% of your body weight for 15 reps. The third exercise in the beginning of this routine is the loo raises. Now, some of you may have seen this exercise before. If you haven't, and if you've never tried it, you will be shocked. It is a very intense exercise, very intense exercise. We're now going into the upper traps. So really, we're looking to get some good strength into the traps here and into the neck. So as you can see here, performing this exercise, we're essentially doing a full range of motion lateral raise, going right up, going up, opening up the palms as we come up, and then squeezing the traps together, touching those dumbbells together at the top there. So a great exercise, getting some good full range dynamic strength into the traps and the neck muscles. And again, 8 to 12 reps for this. And the goal is 10% of body weight in each hand, similar to the Y raise. For all of these exercises, your tempo is 201. What that basically is telling you is that each rep for all of these exercises, you want to be controlling the eccentric portion of the movement always. This is going to develop your deceleration, also create adaptations in the muscles and tendons to help lengthen everything out while we're creating strength. So we're trying to change the structural positions of the muscles and the tendons through this area, through the traps and the neck. If we perform extremely fast and explosive movements, that's gonna tell the body, okay, we need to adapt to this, so let's stiffen everything up, right? So you're getting strength and power, but you're telling the body to stiffen up more. Whereas if we control that eccentric through every rep, we're creating the strength, but we're also telling the body that we can control the movement, and that allows everything to lengthen out through the range of motion rather than stiffen up. So those controlled eccentrics are extremely, extremely important. So we've covered the Y raise, the pullover, and the Lou raises. Next, we have the seated trap pulls, which is essentially a seated shrug. Well, the reason why we're sitting down is because we want to limit the momentum, obviously. What you want to do is tilt the head forward slightly so you can really focus on those contractions of the traps, and then controlling that weight down. Make sure you pause at the bottom so you're really getting that stretch there. Pretty straightforward. This one going a little bit higher on the reps now, 12 to 15, and the goal is to get 25% of body weight in each hand for 20 reps. So the comprehensive cervical strength protocol, we're getting a lot of work into the traps through the shoulders, and then after that we're going into the neck work, which is again similar to the minimalist protocol, the neck flexion, the laterals, and the extension. The main difference between the comprehensive and the minimalist is that your focus will be a lot more aimed towards creating strength progressions. So we have a different minimum goal here. For the flexion, we want to be hitting at least 2.5 kilos for 20 reps. Laterals, 1.25. Extensions, a minimum of 5 kilos. So we want to create some structural balance. So we're always aiming to have the extension the strongest. So we're always stronger in this reverse portion. So we're reversing out all that sitting, but also that posterior part of our neck should always be stronger than the anterior. It's a much more natural strength balance. The flexion becomes the second strongest, and then our laterals will always be relatively weaker than our flexion and our extension. That is the cervical strength protocol. The minimalist and comprehensive protocols cover your entire basis. If you want something that is more simplistic or minimalist, you can run the minimalist program. Very simple, only 10 to 15 minutes it should take you, only 3 exercises and 6 sets overall. The comprehensive, a bit more holistic with extra focus on the traps and the shoulders. You can perform these on your own at any time of the week. You can also try to incorporate them into your program if you really know what you're doing. If you are interested in getting a more locked in and dialed approach, you can go to my website and you can get this program through my coaching app and follow it week by week. So if you go to my bio site here and you go to the Cervical Strength Protocol program, you will be able to get this here. So all you've got to do is click buy, enter your details in there. It's only 25 New Zealand dollars, a one-time payment. That will give you 5 weeks access to my private coaching app. It is a 4-week program. It's a great way for you to start out if you've never done the training before, and if you just really want to have a more professional approach and a bit of guidance for your first time ever doing neck training. It will give you both the minimalist and comprehensive protocols in your schedule in the program, and you'll also be able to follow videos, and it will also track your progress. If that's something you're interested in, you can find the link in the description below. Otherwise, the link can also be found on my Instagram at coledavey official. So I hope you guys learned something today. I hope that you all look at including some neck training into your programming. I truly believe that you should be doing this at some point in your fitness journey. Me personally, I used to experience a lot of neck pain, and this really helped completely eliminate any neck pain. I don't get any neck pain ever now. All I've got to do is include this at least once every 2 to 3 weeks, and I can maintain a really good strong neck. But when you first start out, you want to be doing this at least once a week for a minimum of 3 months, just to give you a really good foundation. And from there, you can drop down to 2 to 3 weeks and just really create some maintenance. Obviously, if you're an athlete, you want to be doing it every week and building up a good solid foundation and hitting those goals of at least the minimum goals, 2.5 kilos, 1.25, and 5 kilos for the extension. And reaching the upper limits will only give you more and more performance benefits. And obviously, if your goal is aesthetics, then you want to be hitting those so that you can get some good muscle growth there as well. So once again, thank you guys for watching. Drop a like if you learned something, if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more content. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one.